All right, let's talk about a piece of technology that's quietly become a massive competitive advantage for businesses: server virtualization. Now, we're going to skip all the heavy tech jargon and really focus on what it means for your bottom line. We're basing this on a great executive guide from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based research firm that specializes in breaking this stuff down for leaders who aren't in IT roles.
So what's the one number that gets every executive to lean in and pay attention? It's this one: 30%. According to the Virtualization Options report, that's how much you can potentially slash your total cost of ownership, your TCO. I mean, that's not just a rounding error. That is a game-changing reduction in what you spend on your IT infrastructure.
Okay, so the obvious question is how, right? How does turning one physical box into a whole bunch of virtual ones actually generate those kinds of savings? And maybe more importantly, what does that really mean for your business in the real world? How does it help you move faster and stay ahead of the curve?
Let's tackle that by looking at the big business payoff first. For just a minute, let's forget the technical stuff. This is all about what virtualization actually does for your strategy, your speed, and of course, your P&L.
And here it is, the core financial benefit in one really simple chart. You see, the old way, the traditional model, is having racks and racks of physical servers, each one doing just a single job. That is a massive drain on your budget for hardware, not to mention the ongoing costs for power, cooling, and just the physical space they take up. Now, look at what happens when you virtualize. You consolidate all that work, and boom, your infrastructure spending just plummets.
But you know, the cost savings are really just the beginning. The real strategic wins are right here. Scalability means you can grow on a dime, not wait 6 months for new hardware to show up. High availability is basically your insurance policy. It's what keeps your most important systems online and protects your revenue if something goes wrong. And simplified management? Well, that means your best people are freed up to innovate, not just run around keeping the lights on.
So we know the business case is incredibly powerful, but what is virtualization really? Let's just take a second to break down the core concept. It's simpler than you might think. At the end of the day, it all just boils down to efficiency. You take one powerful physical server and you use a smart layer of software, it's called a hypervisor, to slice it up into multiple, totally isolated virtual machines, or VMs. The best way to think of the hypervisor is like a traffic cop for all the server's resources. It makes sure every VM gets what it needs to do its job, and each one runs its own applications, completely unaware that it's even sharing the hardware with others.
This really shows you the night and day difference. The old way, one server for one application, was just incredibly wasteful. Most of that server's processing power was just sitting there, doing nothing. But the new way, as that Virtualization Options report points out, is all about maximum efficiency. Now, one physical machine can do the work of 10 or 20 or even 50 individual servers.
Now, your IT team is going to handle the deep technical side of this, but it's really helpful for you to know the two main flavors. You've got hypervisor-based virtualization, which is kind of like building separate full-sized houses on one piece of land. Each one is a complete, robust server. Then you have container-based, which is more like building modern, efficient apartments in one big building. They share the common infrastructure, which makes them super lightweight, fast, and really perfect for today's apps.
Okay, so understanding the concept is one thing, but turning it into a real win for the business means you have to ask the right questions. Think of this next part as your executive checklist for making sure you get this right.
These are the critical conversations you need to have with your technology leaders. And you'll notice these are business questions, not tech questions. Can this new setup handle our most critical applications? How do we keep things running if a server fails? And how do we make sure we're meeting all of our security and compliance rules? These are the things that matter to the business.
And this brings us to a really crucial point from that Virtualization Options report. It says you have to prioritize features like live migration and failover. All that really means is having a rock-solid, automated plan for what happens when a piece of hardware inevitably fails. In short, resilience can't be an afterthought. It has to be baked in from day one.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great, but actually doing it can feel like a massive project. The good news is, it doesn't have to be some chaotic, disruptive mess. There's a proven, structured path to get it done right.
This path follows 4 really logical steps. You start by assessing what you've got. You have to know your starting point. Then you plan the move out meticulously. Now, the absolutely crucial step is the pilot, a small-scale test to work out all the kinks. And only then, once you're confident, do you deploy it across the board. It's a method that's built to deliver results, not headaches.
If there's one phase to really double down on, it's the pilot. This is your single most important checkpoint. It's where you prove that everything works, that performance is there, that everything's compatible, before you go all in. This is how you de-risk the entire project and build the confidence your team needs for a smooth company-wide rollout.
So, bringing it all together, success isn't just about the initial setup. It requires a 360-degree focus. You've got to think about choosing the right vendor partner, planning the integration carefully, locking down security, and of course, managing it for the long haul. It's a full lifecycle commitment.
So, let's end on this thought. Server virtualization isn't just another IT project anymore. It's a competitive weapon. It delivers the speed, the agility, and the efficiency you absolutely need to win in today's market. Which really just leads to one final critical question. Your competitors are using this to get better and faster. Are you?